Hello, it's Gregg at USP Motorsports. Today we're going to go over installing our Puddle LED kit on a Mark 5 GTI. The installation is going to be the same for the Mark 5 GTI as well as the Rabbit and the Jetta. The tools you're going to need to complete the install are going to be a T30 Torx, T20 Torx, a set of wire cutters, and this pry tool. We call it a split fork tool, and our general combination wedge tool. Both of these are available for purchasing on the site, and it makes the installation a lot easier. And the other thing you'll need is either a pick tool or a small flathead screwdriver. Once the lights are installed, in order to turn them on properly, you're going to need access to either Vagcom, or you'll need to bring the car to the dealer to have them code the door modules properly. Later on in the video, we'll discuss how to properly turn the lights on using Vagcom. We're going to start on the passenger front door here. First thing we're going to do is using a T20 Torx, remove the screws. So we'll start with the first screw up here. Once we get the upper screw here and the two lower ones here, then we got to pop this cover off over here. Once we get that off, there's going to be a T30 Torx here and a T30 Torx there. Now we'll remove the door panel. Now once you get all the clips out, you're going to pull this forward and you're going to slide it up. Now this is the back side of the door panel. We're going to unclip the speaker here to get that out of the way. And then from here, if you want to, you can undo the cable here. This is going to pop out of place here. And then you can take the little hook off. And then you can come over here and unhook the window switch. Pull that tape off. And then set the door panel down. This will give you a little bit more room to work. Now we're going to come to the door electronics module here. In order to release the gray plug, you need to push in there and rotate the purple, and this is going to come out from here. We need to cut the zip tie off, and you're going to come over here. You can use your fingernail or a pick tool, release that, and then this is going to slide out. Now when this slides out, you can flip it over, and if you look real close, you're going to see a 17 printed right there. You're going to take the red wire from the harness, you're going to plug it in to 18, which is going to be the one right next to it, and then you're going to plug the brown wire into 19, and you're going to push them all the way in until they lock. From there, we'll turn this back over, we'll insert it back into there. Bring the harness back over here, push it on the harness, lock it into place. Now from here we'll use our pry tool kit, and we'll pop the little reflector out, and we'll drop the wire we just installed through the hole there. From there we'll come back here, we'll reconnect our window switch, reconnect our door handle cable if you chose to disconnect it. Put the hook in, just like that. You can let go of the handle. And then you gotta clip it back into place just like that. Once that's back on, go ahead and plug your speaker back in. From here we'll start with this corner up here. We'll get that corner into the track, and we'll work our way this way. Once it's in there, we'll push down on the door panel, and we'll get our clips locked into place. We'll install our T30 screws, installing one at the top. Once those are in, we can install our cover panel again. Then we'll put our 3 T20 torque screws back in. Once we have our screws in, you can go ahead and plug your light housing in. Put the bottom of the light housing in first and clip in the top. And that'll finish up the front passenger door. Now we're going to do the rear passenger side door. First thing we're going to do is remove the T20 torque screw that sits right here at the bottom. Once we remove that, we're going to use our pry tool, and just like we did on the front passenger door, we're going to remove this trim panel here. Once that panel's out, same thing as the front passenger door, there's a T30 Torx here, and there's one down here. So we're going to remove those. Once those are removed, we'll start working the clips off on the door panel. Pull the door panel off and lift up and off. Now on the back side of the door panel, we're going to unplug the tweeter, squeezing the clip like so. Unplug the tweeter, and then we'll unplug the window switch. And just like the front, if you want a little more room to work, you can take the front door handle cable off. Excuse me, you can take the door handle cable off. The way you're going to do that, just pop it out here and undo the hook. And we'll set the door panel aside for now. Now we're going to have to unplug this harness to go ahead and install our wires. First thing we're going to do is cut this little zip tie here and get that off. Next thing we're going to do is unplug the harness from the module using your wedge tool. We're going to come in here and we're going to unhook the top, and then down here there's another release clip too. Release the other clip. I'll give you guys a close-up now. This is your first clip, so you have to get your wedge tool and just like that, and lift that corner up. And then the bottom one's the same thing. You got to get your wedge tool in and lift the corner up. So from here, we're going to spin this around, and most of the wire connectors are open in the middle here. So that's where we're going to install our wires at. So before we can put our wires in here, we need to unlock this harness first. There's a little purple tab that you can see in there, and you have to, using a pick tool or a small screwdriver, we're going to open that. Okay, you can see right here it's slid out a little bit. It slides out just a little bit, and the easiest way to do that is to put your pick tool down in this little channel here, and we'll slide it out. Once we get that out, we're going to take our brown wire and we're going to go in pin 4. So if we're looking at this side of the connector, you're going to see a B here, and you're going to see a 23 here. So 4 is going to be right over here. So we'll flip this over. We have 1, 2, 3 wires, and then the 4th one's open. So we'll go into there, and we'll push our wire all the way in. And you want to make sure it goes all the way in and locks into place. Okay. Now that we've got our brown wire in place here, all you're going to do is you're going to flip this over, and opposite where you put your brown wire, you're going to put your red wire. I just inserted the red wire in there, same thing. So it's going to line up directly across from it. So brown one's going to go to pin 4, red one's going to go to pin 14. After you make that connection, we can plug our harness back in. Now we'll come over here and we'll close the purple lock. And all you're going to do is just put your tool in there and push it in and it'll snap into place. And from there, we'll plug our harness back in. Now, when we pulled our door panel off, you can see some of the locking tabs remained on the door. So using the other pry tool that comes in our kit, you can come over to here and you can get these locking clips out. Now the clips that remained in the door that we just popped off, you're just going to put them in here and you'll just slide them back into place. Now we'll come over here. First thing we'll do is we'll plug the door handle back in. We'll take the silver hook, hook it on the door handle, and then from there lock it into place and push the cable holder. Plug the tweeter back in, plug the window switch back in down here. Now put the door panel back in. We're going to put this front corner into the groove first and just work down the line here. Once that's in place, we'll get our clips back in. Now we'll go ahead and work our way around and pop all factory clips back into place. Once that's done, we'll put our two T30 screws back in up here. Once that's done, we can plug our light housing in. Put in the bottom first and pop it into place. Once that's in, we can put the cover back here. And this cover will pop back on. Now the driver's side door is going to be the exact same procedure for the rear. For the driver's side door, first thing we're going to do is remove the T20 Torx in the top corner over here. Then we'll come down here. There's going to be one down here in this corner. We'll remove that. Get the third one out over here. Now we're going to remove the door handle window switch assembly here. You can start over here, pop this up. This is held on really good with clips. It'll pop up. Use your pry tool. And it's actually a spring-loaded lock. It'll come off there, and then you can release the window switch. From there, there's going to be two T30 Torx in there. Once you get those off, same thing as the other door panels. Just like the other door panels, we'll start with a corner, starting with the corner down here, and we'll start working our way along and popping the clips. Once you have all the clips off, you can lift the door panel up and off. Now the first thing we're going to remove is the tweeter right here. And then the door cable here. To remove the door cable, you can pull on the insulation here, out, and then unhook this. And then we can set the door panel down. Now we're going to wire up our light. So we need to release the gray connector here. It's going to be just like the passenger door. Push that gray tab in there, rotate the purple tab, and then that'll release. Now from here we'll cut this zip tie off. Just like the front passenger door, release the tab here and pull the harness out here. Once we pull it out, we'll flip it over, and you can see this pin is labeled 17 here. So all we're going to do is take our wires and we're going to put red in 18, so it's going to be the second one. And then we'll put brown in 19. And once the wires are back in place, We'll spin this back over and we'll slide it back into our connector housing. From there, on our door panel, you can pop the red cover out, run the harness we just hooked up there, and now we'll put our door panel back on. First thing you're going to want to do, plug this gray connector back in. You're going to put it in like that with the lever all the way up. You're going to push in and lock the lever. From there we'll come over here and we'll hook the door cable back up. First thing you want to do is put the hook in there. Once the hook's in there, you'll stretch the cable and lock it back into place. The last thing we'll do is hook the tweeter back up. Once that's done, put the door panel back up. It's going to sit and lock in on the ledge here. Once it's sitting on the ledge and you got it locked in place good, you can come back on the front and we can pop our pins back in. Now we can put our T30 Torx screws back in. And you want to make sure you pop all the clips all the way around. You'll hear each one pop into place. Put our T20 Torx screws back in. There's going to be one right here. And the third one. From there we can plug our window switches back in. Windows plug in there. Power mirrors. We'll pop that all the way down. From there, the last step is going to be plug in your LED housing. Tuck the remaining wire in there. And from here, pop this into place. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and turn them on and get them working. Now we're going to turn them on in Vagcom, so we're going to go to Select Control Module, Chassis. We'll go to 42, which is a door electrical controller for the driver. We'll go to number 7, which is coding. And we'll click on software coding here. And you can save the number that's in there. From there we're going to add 64 to the last one, making this 69. And we'll click do it. And the driver's side door LED works. We'll close this controller. We'll go to door electrical passenger number 52. Same thing, coding. The last two digits are 04, so we'll add 64 to that. So we'll change that to 68. And we'll click do it. We'll close that controller. Then we'll go to the 62, which is the rear left. We'll go to coding. So we're going to change the last four from 1168 to 1232. And we'll click do it. And the last one we'll go to is the driver's rear door, which is 72. And we'll click on coding. And same thing, it's 1168, so we'll change this to last three numbers to 232 and click do it. It accepted the coding. We'll close the controller. Now we'll have our door lights working all the way around.